And while I'm doing some maintenance on my spiders, I thought we'd continue here. Might as well, lazy Sunday, and I'm quite enjoying all this sort of faffing about anyway. So again, this is another Phormictopus. If you saw my previous video, which was Phormictopus auratus Cuban bronze, this one is one I received at the same time. I actually received it in, it's called a mug of tea from Andy Orm's So Many Legs, so shout out there to you, mate. Use the mug all the time. and look at the spiders all the time. Right, this is a Phormictopus cancerides. I think, if I remember rightly, this is called a Hispaniola Giant, and they hail from the Dominican Republic. I think they're a bit wider spread over the West Indies anyway. Browner in colour, more brown. Again, has the temperament. This is actually more aggressive, well, defensive, I'd say, than my auratus species. Same kind of setup. I tend to think these are sort of grassland bordering. It's almost temperate rainforest. I mean, it's not deepest rainforest. There are a couple of groups on Facebook I participate in, and a couple of people I talk to who've travelled to these countries and seen them in their natural habitat. So any enclosure I make, especially for a subadult, I try and replicate those conditions as much as I can. I'm just in the process of putting a hide in for this spider itself. It readily climbed into this enclosure. This time again, that was more an act of aggression stroke defence, really. Best kind of defence is attack. But now it's relatively calmed down. It's not threat posing anymore as it was, which what you would see previously, you might have actually seen them before. Anyone who's familiar with tarantulas has definitely seen a threat pose before. Anyone who hasn't, you would notice what they do. I touched on the hairs of this being the New World. This is, again, it's got those large hairs which can be rubbed off into the eye of anything hassling it. However, what you'd find again with this and old world species, like the baboon spiders, but that's a separate topic, you'd find that this one would raise up those front legs and brandish its fangs. Now, probably, yes, to be fair, this will give you a nip. They do occasionally give a warning. It's sort of, they tap the feet down on the substrate first, and it's almost like a special attack if you're in the games or anything. It sort of makes a little bit of pressure on the ground. You can hear it thump, and that's a warning. But then if you don't heed that, then it's time to feel a bit of those fangs, which you do not really want to be part of. Now, if this was an old world, you definitely don't want to get bitten by them. They have a significant venom. It's essentially, you call it a hot venom. You feel numerous effects. I know people who've been bitten by P-murinus, which is OBT, orange baboon tarantula, or the orange bitey thing. Again, I digress a bit, but an old world even, that can cause like sweats, flu-like symptoms, breathing issues. Again, don't give it cause to. Your spider's something to look after and respect. It's not, it's not there for your amusement, as it were. So if you start prodding and pissing them off, don't be surprised if one of them's going to say, right, yeah, have a bit of that. Again, I'm not too sure how long these have been in the hobby, really. I know that your artist has been in a while, but potentially, because they look quite similar, species like this can get mistakenly classified. So it's potentially, these might have been in the hobby a while, to be fair. You know, they could have probably been sold as Haitian brown, even though they're probably not. Again, it's another example of the Phormictopus janus even. They are exciting spiders to keep. They're step up. You get some more docile species, Penophelma, Brachypelma, Grammostola species. These are probably, they're a step up. To be fair, they do have temperament like some of the baboon spiders, and they do stand the ground a little more. Some baboon spiders, even though they've got the potential to give you a bit of a whack, as it were, they do like to be reclusive and hide, whereas these do, while they don't pack the venomous punch, they would stand the ground. I think size comes into it as well. They are bolshy enough, as it were, to have a go at you. Well, don't give him a reason to. Again, I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to continue and get him, get his enclosure sorted again, so he can, well, he's probably not going to hide. He can hide if he wants, but he's probably really just going to bang at the floor when I walk past the enclosure instead, as he usually does. Thank you.